we stay up so late?
This episode of Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Parrish, and you are listening to the Capes and the Lunatics Sidekicks Podcast.
Hey, what about our Comic Capers podcast?
What about us?
I don't know, that polite young lady wants to know where's Comic Capers, but we're back for the new
Back, baby, and bigger than ever.
episode 99. So
You did it, boys!
you know it's around the corner.
169?
That's right.
Just get right past 100, 150, 169.
That's right. Prepare yourselves in 70 weeks. Oh no, you're gonna be getting Quantum Zone 169 way before that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so yes, we are back. Like we threatened last time, we did a bunch of Daredevil. Now we're on to one of the most infamous comic stories, I'd say, Green Lantern Emerald Twilight from 1994.
Well, boys, Phil finally did it. He broke the Lilith.
And the Ray too, probably.
It wasn't the Captain America run or the U.S. Agent run. No, it was this one.
Was this worse than the Captain America stuff for you?
Worse than U.S. Agent, but
Oh my lord!
but like at this particular time in the Green Lantern lore, it's just it's chaos and it breaks my heart, and I don't like these decisions. So that's what it is, because I was actually really invested earlier on in the Green Lantern era, and this part just was too much to bear as a fan.
Oh yeah, I mean, how Jordan superfan Will Allred was like, I'm like, you want to join us? He's like, no. He's like shaking. He's like, no.
He goes,
PTSD from the flashbacks. Like I this is like some of the stuff that I like actually read as it was coming out too. So
yeah,
that's why it sticks and stings so bad.
What?
That's why it sticks and stings so bad, because I was reading this as it was released.
But
to come from like the Silver era and everything, and keep reading, and then you hit this point and you finally caught up, and this is what you caught up to.
I mean, I think it had the desired effect though, because it's like I was reading Green Lantern off and on, but then once they put Kyle in, I was like, oh, let me check this out, and then that got me collecting Green Lantern regularly every month. I did go back and collect Hal Jordan, but it's like, go try.
He's the definitive Green Lantern, for better or for worse, though. So
yes.
Sorry, Stuart. It's just true. I love Stuart, but let's be real. Everybody wants Hal.
Yeah, I mean, John Stewart. I mean,
he's second for sure, but Hal is number one.
Thanks to animation, because would as many people know John Stewart if it wasn't for the animated Justice?
No, not at all.
No.
And his characterization is way better in the animated universe than it ever was in the comic books. So.
And no one likes Guy Gardner.
Yeah, I tolerate Kyle over Guy, to be honest. So.
Seriously, come on.
Well, when Kyle did the whole White Lantern thing, that was epic, actually, and I really liked it. So it just takes a really good writer to get a handle on him.
Yes, agreed.
So let's just jump right into it, buddy.
All right. So I got synopsis again. Yes, Green Lantern 48 starts it off. Emerald Twilight Part 1, The Past, from January 1994. So, yeah, Ron Mars is the writer. This is when Ron Mars started on Green Lantern, right?
I'm pretty sure.
I think, yeah. All right, kids, for those of you, before I get to the synopsis, a little background. This comes in the wake of Reign of the Superman, the cyborg. We
were going through a lot in the DC universe at this time.
The cyborg Superman with Ray's favorite Mongol destroys Coast City, and so Hal Jordan is of course in mourning, and his arms in a sling because of Mongol.
Rogozar Jr.? What?
Oh, don't say that. Ray loves Mongol for some reason.
No, Mongol's okay. He's okay. I take that back. Nobody's as bad as Rogozar.
What the F?
Yeah, no. All right, so we open up. Yeah, Hal Jordan's sitting in the crater that used to be Coast City with his arm in a sling.
As you do.
The issue, man, pain, love. The issue begins.
I know.
It's only a couple months from now. We get the fridge. The very definition.
Somebody get Gail Simone on the phone. Honest to God.
I'm telling you, one day we should cover that issue and invite Gail Simone. That might have to be for the Patreon for all the naughty language.
Yes.
The issue begins with Green Lantern Hal Jordan in the middle of a huge crater that was once his home, Coast City, after it was destroyed by the combined efforts of Mongol and the cyborg Superman during the reign of the Superman arc. As he is remembering his past, including the time he met the dying alien Abin Sur, who before dying bequeathed his ring to Hal, is thinking that his power ring has enough power to recreate Coast City in his image.
It could be anybody's first issue. It's fine.
Oh yeah, nice simple background there. He first meets with his father, Martin Jordan, and the two Jordans have a talk about their relationship. Hal wants his father to be proud of him since Martin only cares about Hal's two other brothers more than him. Martin then disappears through the smoke and his fighter plane appears. The recreation of his death is played out in front of Hal when a construct of his mother comes behind him and tells him that the best thing to do is to move on. But it's not enough for the Green Lantern. Instead of just creating constructs of his memories, he proceeds to create Coast City as if it was never destroyed. In green, Hal then finds a girl named Jennifer, his childhood sweetheart before Carol.
Jennifer!
Do we really think this was the first time he's used that ring to create a woman?
No, not at all.
As they are walking back to Hal's house, they reminisce about the times when they were together and how the biggest mistake Hal made was leaving her. When they reach his house, Jennifer gives Hal a kiss and disappears, just like he likes it. Hal then goes inside and finds his father.
Relatable.
Lilith likes her date to disappear after that kiss. Hal then goes inside and finds his father sitting at the dinner table. As he's about to tell Hal that he's proud of him, the ring's power dies out and the construct of Coast City fades away and Hal is back in the crater. Then an image of one of the Guardians of the Universe appears and tells him that by creating a construct of Coast City, he has violated one of the most sacred laws of the Green Lantern Corps to never use the ring for personal gain. Hal contends that it was because of his personal loss instead of gain, but the Guardian refuses to listen and orders Hal to surrender his ring and return to Oa immediately. However, desiring more power, Hal destroys the construct of the Guardian and absorbs the energy from it and proceeds towards Oa. But to destroy the core as a couple looking up in the sky and notice a streak of green flying across the sky and makes a wish for escape. Looks like a freelance artist to me.
Burn.
Cal Rayner. Look how bad this is. Lilith turned off her camera. So so Hal's off the deep end, right? I don't see him just sitting in his crater playing with figures from his past and trying to recreate Coast City. I mean, he's got to be insane. It's like he knows that ring at this point has a 24-hour limit. It's like, okay, what were you going to do? Because I think trying to remember, I think his battery might have been destroyed at this point. So I don't know what he thought he was going to do when 24 hours was up. But as we'll find out later, there's a cause for his insanity, but we'll talk about that at the end of this episode. But yes, this was reprinted in Green Lantern Emerald Twilight and Green Lantern Emerald Twilight / New Dawn collections. But yeah, I like the art in this issue. Really good job by Bill Willingham. Yeah, Very nice. I like the pencils in this, the colors. But yeah. But the quote for the issues from Hal Jordan, of course, his thoughts. It would be tempting, wouldn't it? All it would take, really, is the will. Oh, certainly. Every last vestige of willpower that could be summoned. But it would be tempting. Think of it. The power to resurrect that which no longer exists, or create that which only exists in the mind's eye. All of it perfect in every detail. The power to make the dead live again. To redress any wrong. To rewrite history with a happy ending. Yeah, that sounds insane, doesn't it? But yeah, I mean, again, recreating ex-girlfriends, looking for a happy ending. Come on. Sorry, Will. I know Will. How Jordan's your favorite, but
Sorry.
that's okay. But yeah, like I said, I mean, we'll talk about it at the end, but there's a reason why he's insane. But he's insane at this point. And I said, his battery, I think, is destroyed. What did he thought this was going to last more than 24 hours?
Idiot.
Yeah, I know. And again, recreating ex-girlfriends and looking for a happy ending. Come on.
Yeah.
This is like, I don't even care.
Yeah. Sorry, hold on.
That's okay. But like I said, I really like the art in this issue. The pencil, color, all of it. Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah, I mean, they had to like trash Hal Jordan to bring in Cal Rayner, and it's just like, eventually they would have to retcon it. The cause. Which I find that kind of weird. That originally it was just like, oh yeah, the guy goes insane. But yeah, I mean, there's not a lot. I mean, yeah, you got get Hal going to Oa, but it's basically him talking to his parents and the ex-girlfriend.
Poor Hal.
I mean, I guess maybe he doesn't associate her with Coast City, but no ring construct of Carol. Well, she's not dead, but I mean,
yeah.
I could finally make you say whatever I want you to say. But yes, this is the canonical first appearance of Cal Rayner, kids. And fridge bait, yes. So, yes, Cal Rayner's first appearance, one panel on the last page, shirtless. So that's what turned Lilith around.
Exactly. You know me so well.
That's right. All she needs is shirtless men, and she gives a comic like an A++.
Works for Steve Trevor, yeah.
No, maybe should have more of that in that movie. Instead of parachute pants. All right. Anything else? Or should we move to the next one?
Yeah, let's move to the next one.
Lilith's like, I can't believe you made me effing read this.
I mean, it's not, like I said, it's just, it wouldn't be bad in a vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
But,
I know.
It's not in a vacuum, so.
This would have been better as Elseworlds.
Yeah, no, seriously, honestly.
Yeah.
We were just going through so much, and, they were really getting to, like, peak Hal at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So it, like, kind of hurt. Like, I was actually, like, liking him and enjoying it, and then they pulled the rug from under me.
I know. All right, so issue 49 with, like, my favorite cover. The one I think, anytime you mention Emerald Twilight, that's, like, the first image that pops in my head is that him with all them rings on his finger. Oh, that bling!
Yeah. Suck it, Thanos.
Oh! Nice. Suck it, Grimace.
Suck it.
So Emerald Twilight Part 2, The Present. He's not bringing no presents to the Green Lanterns, I'm telling you that.
Hit him in the face with that sack is what he did.
Oh.
He hit him right in the face with that sack.
We
need the money. Gimme.
He needs the green. All right. So cover date, February 1994. As the Green Lantern of Earth, Hal Jordan proceeds to Oa after the events of last issue. The Guardians of the Universe send a number of Green Lanterns in Hal's path to try and stop him. The first in line are Kihan of Varva and Lara of Jade. Though they put up a good fight, they're no match for. So basically, it's just Hal Jordan decimating the '90s Lanterns. Though they put up a good fight, they're no match for Hal Jordan as he defeats them and takes their power rings, leaving them floating in space whilst he continues his rampage towards Oa. As they watch Hal's approach, the Guardians see that he is more resourceful than they had thought, but they are not worried as they have others to stop him. The next Green Lantern to oppose Hal is Tomar 2, who proceeds to create a construct of a parasite from his world whose grip is virtually unbreakable. They call that the Trump. However, it doesn't stop the match.
Man, he's still in office. They haven't 25 his butt yet, so careful.
I know. However, it doesn't stop the Mad Lantern as he cuts free of the construct and blasts Tomar into an asteroid. Just as he is about to finish Tomar off, the Lantern who personified the 90s, Jack T. Chance. Jesus.
What now?
Jack what? Arrives and attacks Hal from behind. Though he is tough, he is inexperienced compared to the years Hal has had. Hal knocks Jack out and proceeds not only to continue his path towards Oa, but to steal the rings of Tomar 2 and Jack T. Chance. Yeah, leave him to die in space. The next Lanterns to try and stop Hal are General Creon and Hanu. Both put up a fight, but are swiftly dispatched by Hal, who takes both their rings, just as Graf Torin arrives and is punched out by Hal, who takes his ring as well. Then it is the turn of the Green Lantern Boudica, who was brought into the Corps by Hal. The fight between these two Lanterns is fierce, as even though Boudica is losing, she is determined to prevent Hal from taking her ring. Recognizing her strong resolve, Hal cuts off her right hand, takes her ring, and leaves her in space. That's going to leave a mark.
Damn, that's brutal.
I know, man. Boy, hopefully she doesn't survive.
You can write this story today. That's all I'm saying.
I know. Nope. The internet would hunt you down.
He'd be canceled. There'd be no more Green Lantern at that point.
True. Cuts off her hand, leaves her in space. Just as he arrives on Oa, where he faces the most important Lantern of his life, Kilowog.
Kilowog's Bay. If you don't agree, get out.
Even though two of the greatest Green Lanterns in the Corps were close friends, and Kilowog just wants Hal to stop and doesn't want to fight him, his loyalty lies with the Corps first. As they battle it out on Oa, it seems that they are both evenly matched, but because of the extra rings he gained from the previous Lanterns he defeated, which makes no sense because it wouldn't boost his willpower, Kilowog...
It doesn't work that way, but nobody's told them.
Oh, Jesus. Chad's back. Ready for a Kilowog joke? Stick it in his poozer.
Chad, save it for Capes After Dark, damn it.
Chad, I think you just made a little spit water out her nose. Kilowog is clearly overpowered by Hal and is knocked out. Hal then continues his path on Oa towards the source of the Green Lantern Corps' power, the Central Battery. As he reaches the battery, the Guardians try one last effort to get Hal to stop his rampage against the Corps, but Hal was unwilling to listen, let alone surrender. So the Guardians send the last person out against Hal, but not a Green Lantern, at least not anymore. Sinestro.
Send in Sinestro!
Armed with a Green Lantern ring once again, as they are convinced that their feuds end here. See the one well, I think I was going to say the one Lantern they don't send against him, the 13-year-old he aged up with his power ring so he could sleep with her.
And people give Shazam and Stargirl hassle. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I was gonna say Guy Gardner, but I think he B slaps Gardner in his own book.
Could you imagine?
I know.
Just getting manhandled in your own book.
Guy Gardner. Imagine losing.
Like your name's Dick Grayson.
Don't you talk about manhandling Dick, Lilith. You know who I can get after you right now, don't you?
Diggity dank.
Don't tell her. Don't tell her.
About those words about manhandling Dick coming out of your mouth.
We all know it's true though, but anyway.
But yeah, I mean, oh Lord. But yeah, this was just a massacre. Just, no more Green Lanterns.
I mean, it would have been interesting if this stuck, for sure.
Exactly. Well, it kind of did till like the mid 2000s for about 10 years.
In the grand scheme of things, though, that's not that long, comparatively speaking. Say a Wally, a Barry,
yeah. Well, who did except
Superboy? Even
I was gonna say, who did except for that Barry and Wally stuff? Who lasted that long?
I mean, Superboy Prime gave it his all.
Yeah, but he spends most of that in his little crystal cell there.
True.
Punching walls and bringing back useless sidekicks.
We'll get Jason as well,
Oh, yeah. Again, lay that at Superboy Prime's.
But I felt like they thought that maybe nobody really cared about the Green Lantern Corps as a whole. It was just kind of like the individuals, but not as a whole, especially like the non-humanoid ones,
Oh, no. I mean, literally, it was. Hal's book wasn't selling. So, yeah, they decided to revamp it. Okay, Chad. Now we get a Flash joke. That's the thing about speedsters. They go quick.
Yeah, I wouldn't brag about being the fastest man alive.
So in stereo, kids.
Suck it, Kona.
Oh, by the way, do you like my radioactive glow just for this issue?
I know, man. Who are you, Charlie Esther? I can't. You're just like glowing. That yellow.
It's the sunlight, and then it's the fire truck chartreuse shirt. Just gives this nice radioactive effect.
I knew you were Sinestro Corps. I knew it.
I mean, he is one of the better characters. A lot more interesting than, the main guys. And I loved when he had his book. I just was wondering who it was for. And then Charlie made me give it a chance, and it was pretty good.
And Lil says inspire great fear.
I do.
Especially in the workplace.
Damn straight.
She rules with an iron fist.
I might have to get me a handful of yellow lantern rings.
Oh my. There you go.
Cutting, bro.
So after he opens his can of whoop ass on everybody.
Yeah. The Guardians bring out Sinestro, so you see how desperate they are.
Send in the clown.
We can't physically bitch slap you, but here's Sinestro.
It's in his name, man.
Chad wants a yellow ring. Okay.
Man, emotional. I do like the emotional spectrum rings though. That was a really good addition to the lore, which we'll get to eventually one day, I assume.
Yes, we'll get there eventually. Jeff Johns, we'll get there. I think I have more Green Lantern on there for this year, but what are we doing? Oh, maybe it was at Rebirth or I forget. We're doing something. So, all right. So, anything else on this, or should we get to the next one?
Let's get to the next one because this is epic.
Oh yeah, of course. All right. So, Green Lantern number 50.
The big one. The big one.
It all ends here.
The buck stops here.
And of course, Emerald. Why? The buck stops here. The green.
We need the money. Gimme.
That's why they did this story.
We need the money. Gimme.
It's a cash grab, but it's an epic cash grab, and it's like I said, it saddens my soul that they kind of had to go there to get Green Lantern to even where it is today.
Yeah.
but it's still pretty epic for a cash grab.
That taste is still in my
The
mouth.
artwork's great, and it's just Hal going off the deep end like we always knew he would. He kind of proves everybody's point about him.
Yeah, true. I'm sorry, Will.
He goes limp in my grip.
Yikes.
Hey man, that Quantum Zone. Told you the live reads are
It's a gold mine, I know. It's gold, Jerry. It's gold.
They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
Just
Hope it's
wait.
doing somewhere nice.
all right. So Green Lantern 50, of course, Emerald Twilight Part 3, The Future.
Get it?
And again, this is 94, so if this was like modern day, like if they could do this story modern day, this would be at least 6 to 12 parts.
Duh. This would be like a 3-year event. What are you talking about?
No, I know.
Would have led in the future state. What do you mean, buddy?
We get at least 3 to 6 months of Hal Jordan slowly going insane, and then we get him plotting and scheming behind this,
Yeah, but at this point, the book wasn't doing good, so
Oh, yeah.
they knew when a book wasn't doing good, and they just revamped it as fast as they could.
Oh yeah, that literally, yeah. The book,
Not to they don't like make a character bad for months and months and months to really get that outrage machine turning. They just we're gonna do something about it.
I know, but I mean, do you think that one of the big mistakes is putting that gray in Hal Jordan's hair,
Oh, absolutely.
giving him the Reed Richards? It's just like, oh,
Absolutely.
I want to read about this old man.
Well, now it works, but it didn't work in 94.
Well, he doesn't have the gray streaks now.
Yeah, I'm just saying now it could work because we're all old now.
Exactly.
Everybody who loves Hal Jordan is old as dirt. No offense.
Sorry, Will. All right. So, yes, of course, cover date March 1994. All right. Continuing from the last issue, as Hal's rampage brings him to Oa with the rings of several Green Lanterns who were sent by the Guardians to stop him, including Kilowog. The Guardians send out their last chance of survival, Sinestro, who is imprisoned inside the central power battery of Oa. Oh, shut up, Chad. I'm only 31. Thanks. Yeah, a little not much older than you, okay?
Yeah. Once you're 30, it's all downhill. Sorry to break it to you, buddy. Can confirm.
I know you're both in your 30s. You can all suck it.
Suck it.
Sinestro in prison power.
Hey, if you're buying alcohol and they see the one, that's all I'm saying.
That's true. It's all for the alcohol. Despite the fact that Hal has more power than Sinestro, they agree that the final fight between the two greatest Green Lanterns and Hal Jordan should be at least a fair fight, with Hal taking off the extra power rings and the two men duel. The battle between the two is intense, and they each fire against each other and create a huge blast that knocks out most of their power. After the smoke clears, we see Sinestro holding Hal, but the young lantern breaks free and proceeds to knock the living daylights out.
Comparatively.
Oh, true, I guess. Yeah. Sinestro probably like 400 years old. And
Why
proceeds
do you think he's so angry? He's seen it all. He knows.
angry.
The older you get, the angrier you get. It's just how it is, bro.
So Hal, yes, proceeds to break free and proceeds to knock the living daylights out of Sinestro while getting a few punches from the Korgarian himself before Hal beats him down and proceeds to do the unthinkable. No, not that. He snaps Sinestro's neck.
Pull yourself and slip up into it.
I want to make you humble.
Pull yourself up and slip into it. Oh, what a waste of butter.
But he does the unthinkable, snaps Sinestro's neck and kills him.
Like Wonder Woman should have done to Maxwell Lord.
Well, she did it in the comics. Yeah, she should have did it in the
movie.
As the Guardians see their last line of defense fail. Oh, Lord. Okay, Chad. Sinestro has seen the Corps fail enough times to realize they're...
Exactly. Sinestro was right.
Oh, Lord. Get that t-shirt going.
It's for Charlie. You're welcome, Charlie.
I mean, in the age where, the Joker's like the biggest thing now. It's like, yeah, give us a Sinestro. You know, Sinestro's right.
I mean, that book actually didn't do that bad. It went pretty long. Longer than they were expecting, so.
Yeah.
They love their villains, so he might get another shot.
True. Hey, there's a Joker's getting an ongoing book. What is it? The Crime Syndicate?
That is such a mistake.
Yeah.
Like, this is where they're going to absolutely ruin the Joker.
Yeah. Crime Syndicate's getting the book, so yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. So come on. Where's Sinestro's another Sinestro book?
Even just a maxi, I'll take that.
Yeah. So as the Guardians see their last line of defense fall, Hal is about to enter the central power battery when he finds that Kilowog survived their battle. To ensure his victory, Hal makes sure that Kilowog is dead by destroying his body with a powerful blast, leaving only a skeleton. Now
that was too much.
That was a giant.
He's gone a bridge too far, sir.
Exactly. The Shadow needs a modern book. I don't know.
Give it a Netflix original.
Oh, there you go. Keep Alec Baldwin away from it. Now that Hal,
I think he owns the rights to it, so good luck with that.
Hey, we get him to sell the rights if we promise to leave his wife. We'll forget what his wife did. Now that Hal has crossed the line, he throws his ring away as he confronts the Guardians over what has couldn't the Guardians overpower him once he throws that ring away?
Don't think about it, darling. Don't think about it.
I guess.
90s comic book logic. It's okay.
True. Hal reveals that it's too late for the Guardians and himself to stop what is about to happen as he leaves the Guardians and goes right into the central power battery. When they realize that all is lost, the Guardians realize that there is only one thing to do, and they choose the Guardian Ganthet as the one. As the power
one. What's his name, Neo?
There can be only one. As the power battery cracks and explodes, the Guardians unleash all of their energy and send it into Ganthet as the battery explodes and Hal emerges in a new costume wielding immense power. As he's about to leave, Hal notices the dead Guardians in the last ring, which he destroys and leaves Oa. Among the dead Guardians, Ganthet rises and tells his dead brothers that he will grieve for them and knows what is to be done as he uses the energy the Guardians gave him and creates a Green Lantern ring and teleports away from Oa. Meanwhile, back on Earth, we find the man who saw Hal at the end of issue 48, Cal Rayner, and notices that it is coming towards him and tries to run away from it. But it explodes, and from that, Ganthet appears right in front of the man and tells him that he will have to do and gives him the power ring. When he asks the alien what he's supposed to do,
even in the own universe logic, I guess you'll have to do.
When he asked the alien what he's supposed to do with it, Ganthet's last words are for the man to do what he must. As Ganthet disappears and the man puts on the ring, when he is transformed into the last Green Lantern. So they gave him the greatest American hero.
Exactly.
Poor
Kyle.
Not even.
I really shouldn't beat up and gang up on him like everybody else does, but it's just so much fun.
Seriously, every other Lantern up to that point had training. It's just like, oh yeah, here's a all-powerful cosmic ring. Yeah, you'll do. How did he know he wasn't a serial killer or something?
Even so, I mean, look at Hal. Look what happened to him. Anybody can.
I guess. But it's like years later, like Hal even says, he's like, you can like split atoms with this thing. And it's like, and Ganthet just like gives it to the first person. Although I'm trying to remember, I think they retconned it later. Did they? I think, the retcon is like, I think Ganthet was it Guy Gardner first and offered him the ring? And he's like, no. Because it's like, Guy Gardner and John Stewart are out there. It's like.
Exactly. They kind of Wolverine that one.
Yeah.
Get that boop out of here.
Look at Dawnbreaker Batman. Yes.
Oh, do we have to? It makes me sad.
No. Oh, rings don't know S. No, Guardians don't know S.
Yeah, they're definitely the Guardians of the Galaxy MCU style for sure. Bungling idiots.
What a bunch of a-holes. But they wanted a revamp, so they couldn't go to Guy Gardner or Jon Stewart, I guess, but just give it to Superman.
Give it to Lois. Give it to Jimmy. Jeez.
Jimmy!
I mean, that would have been interesting. Justice for my redheads in the comic books.
Give it to Dick Grayson.
He was busy. Bloodhaven needs him more than Gotham needs Batman. Let me tell you.
No, 94. Do you even have his book yet? I think he was leaving Titans to come over to the Bat books. That whole debacle.
Yikes. When the greats get into arguments over character rights. You know what I'm saying?
I know, DC, man. The Titans office, the Batman office, no one wanted to share Dick.
And generally, that's a good idea not to share Dick. But, no King Shannon.
Weren't you the one that last on Spider Cast going, yeah, threesomes, yeah.
Depends on what kind of threesome it is. Let's just say all threesomes are not created equal.
No devil's triangle for Lilith. Gardner was better off in red. Yes.
True.
The one ginger in pop culture, Lilith Hellfire, wants nothing to do with.
Right? You know it's bad.
His hair was red, but so was his neck. All right. So, yeah, I mean, and then, like we said, what was it, 2004 or 5? They bring Hal Jordan back in Green Lantern Rebirth, but it's like, and there was, he starts calling himself Parallax, but actually Parallax is the evil yellow entity that was in the power battery.
Yeah.
That's why the rings used to not be able to affect yellow.
Get it?
But they had to redeem him that way. They couldn't just bring him back and be like, oh, yeah, you murdered a bunch of people, but yeah, be a Green Lantern again. Because
he's a white guy. We give white guys so many chances. So, no offense, guys. Just saying. Not for nothing.
Well, they had to do a mind control thing. I mean, they kind of did something like that with the Scarlet Witch too, because it's like, look at Hank Pym. Hank Pym, they gave him no excuse except, I just had a nervous breakdown and got better, and people still won't let him forget that slap to this day. And Cyclops,
That's because he's a Pym and not a Stark. Let's be honest. If it was Howard Stark, it'd be a different story. There's just a tier of greatness in Marvel bloodlines, and Pym ain't one of them.
And Cyclops is just a douche,
Well, I know that.
There's times he had the Phoenix Force when he killed Professor X, but he wasn't under anyone's influence when he left his wife because Jean Grey got resurrected.
The Summer Boys.
That
as I always say,
that was the beginning of the end. It's like, we're bringing back at first they weren't going to bring back Jean Grey, then they did. They're like, Cyclops had to be like, oh. Wait, what? I don't need to copy the originals back? Okay.
Exactly. Put you in the safe. You're the real thing out now.
Hi, dear.
That's funny. But yeah, this was interesting to say the least. It had some good points, some really low points, some really high points. I thought the fight scenes were pretty good, but the ultimate conclusion to the story was very lackluster.
Well, again, it's a setup for something that's coming up soon.
I know.
Yeah.
But like the execution on it just really, it still leaves a bad taste in my mouth. It really does.
I know. Yeah, I know. It was just, it was like, we need to clear everything off the board as quickly as possible and get this.
In the worst way possible. This is worse than the death of Superman.
Oh, yeah. Because at least Superman went down swinging heroically. Yeah, Hal Jordan
exactly
goes nuts and kills all his friends. Yeah.
That taste is still in my mouth.
Will would probably agree.
Yes.
You hit him right in the face with that sack.
And to me, he still hasn't truly been redeemed. Like, this is a very big black mark on his record. So
not even with like the mind control angle now.
Not even with that, because that you can see through that's just cheesy necessity.
Oh yeah, they tacked that on. Just yeah. So you're not so it wasn't like, oh yeah, you bring this guy back. He's a mass murderer.
I mean, but like I said, Joker's a thing now. So I mean, they could retcon that away. It was me, Barry. It was me. You know.
That's true. That's true.
So,
I don't think those are tentacles.
but yeah.
Yeah, he snaps Sinestro's neck.
Choke that chicken. Oh yeah.
Oh, they retcon that too. What was it? The Sinestro he kills here, wasn't it like a clone or something stupid like that?
The old Doctor Doom. Giving him the old Doctor Doom. I love it.
Because like the second Hal Jordan comes back, they bring Sinestro back, and it's like, oh,
You have to. Like
you killed my clone.
had to lay low in hiding.
I know. I mean, he could have been running. Sinestro could have been running. If that was a clone, Sinestro could have been running amok while Hal was gone. But no.
They're like, oh, here's our chance, boys. Let's do it.
That's right. He didn't want to mess with Cal Rayner.
Nobody did.
Oh, shut up. Hey, it made kind of sense. He was like, he was an artist. So it's like, hey, here's a guy who can actually make, some detail, as an.
But what if he had aphantasia, which means you don't have the mind's eye? You can't picture things in your mind. That's kind of like the whole shtick of the Green Lantern.
Hey, Ring, can you make me a giant sledgehammer?
Exactly. It's Suri. It was the original Suri.
Oh, jeez. All right, so we don't get this too often. Would you like to hear Ray's feedback on this DC story?
Oh, he's probably so lost and everything's out of context for him. Yes, let's see how lost our twin is.
Is this the same Hal Jordan fellow? Yes, everyone. For those of you who do not know, about to hear the feedback from our friend Ray.
Podcaster extraordinaire.
Who hosts almost as many podcasts as me.
Almost.
Suck it, Ray. Last Sons of Krypton, a Superman podcast, so he knows a little DC here. To Know Her is to Fear Her, the Spider-Woman podcast. You can hear him the last Tuesday of every month, right here on
the Scarlet Spider Sausage Fest, and don't you forget it.
Trademark Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks podcast. But of course, his baby. Besides Finn, the big one, you need to listen to his show, especially if you want to learn all about Moon Knight before he hits Disney Plus. Into the Night. The
Moon Knight podcast. The premier Moon Knight podcast.
That's right, except no substitutes. All right, so let's hear what this Marvel guy has to say about this Green Lantern story. All right, Ray, take it away.
Hello, Lilith and Phil. This is Ray, giving some not that often comments and feedback on Comic Capers. I believe maybe I do. It's just, it's quite varied Comic Capers. I really do enjoy it. Anyway, this is some feedback for Green Lantern. This is cool. 48 to 50. The Emerald Twilight arc. And let it be known, I haven't read much Green Lantern, but I've always been interested in him, in particular Hal Jordan, because he's the original.
Now you're not.
I like how it's branched out, and we get the other likes of Kyle and John and Guy and all that sort of thing. But it was interesting to read this one because most notably we see the origin of Kyle Rayner, and I found that quite impressive to get towards the end. But look, if I'm to backtrack though, this is a big one. I mean, the premise is simple. Hal Jordan gets a little bit miffed and decides to go ring collecting, and he has a beef with the big is it Oa, the little gnomes at Oa. He wants to, I guess, destroy them or something because he blames them for, for coastal city being decimated. It was cool I was wondering whether this was going to be all 3 issues of Green Lantern recreating and having some sort of godlike interaction with these after images or ghost images of people he knew that he's kind of conjured up using his ring. I found it interesting, and I'm glad that it didn't linger on too much. It went on for a bit when I was thinking, okay, is this whole thing going to be based on like a trip down memory lane, him talking to his dad, to his first love, to his mum, that sort of thing. So I found that quite interesting, but then it kind of really ramped up with the action. Look, I don't know too much about these other Green Lanterns. Please let me know, apart from Kilowog, are the other Green Lanterns that Hal beats, are they like well-known lanterns? Like, are they significant characters, or are they kind of just made up just to set up this showpiece of Hal collecting the rings? Anyway, I mean, the premise, as I said, was simple, so it was pretty straightforward. Hal was going to beat them all. What I didn't expect to see was Kilowog come back towards the end after Hal shockingly defeated and killed Sinestro, and equally or even more shocking to actually see him kill Kilowog. So that was, to me, that was the big ticket items of this 3-part run. So that was pretty cool. But then actually having said that, then compounded on top of that, this idea of is a Ganthet, the little Oa gnome, he gets lumped with the responsibility, and he's desperate, and he finds Kyle Rayner, and there you go. I've heard about his origin. I remember Phil talking about how he wasn't really chosen. He was kind of like, oh, that'll do. He was kind of any old guy that
That'll do, pig.
That Ganthet ran into. So it was interesting. Really cool to see him in the last page. He looks like a Green Lantern. He looks pretty cool. Actually, the Green Lantern with the black hair kind of looks really good. So yeah, I enjoyed this issue, these issues, and this arc. I'd give this a good. It was only 3 issues, so there wasn't too much meat to it. But I would give it a B as well. I'd say I was about to say a B plus, but maybe if they fleshed out things a bit more. And look, this might be a modern comics would never, kind of thing. In this instance, I probably think that it would have benefited from a couple more issues, maybe dive into it a bit more. To me, it seemed like he went bang, bang, bang through each of the fights, and everything happened really quickly for him to get the rings, because they wanted, Ron Mars wanted to get to that point where, I know he just wanted to get to the end. But I would have loved to have seen that a bit more developed. Maybe the fight's gone on a bit longer, especially if they are significant Green Lanterns. But in any case, it was still an enjoyable romp. So, yeah, so a B for me. Really enjoying Green Lantern. I'm always saying that I should read more Green Lantern. I might stick with a bit more Kyle Rayner, but I might hover around this era. I'm assuming this is in and around, is it Blackest Night? And I've seen there's another Emerald trilogy, Emerald arc as well. So I might have to look at that as well. Yeah. Also a bit of context. I don't know if they had mentioned it in the blurb. So when Coastal or Coast City, when it got decimated, did Green Lantern kill his parents and his first love and all that? Was that?
Oh.
Was it all that to do with him? Did he cause that explosion? Anyway, that didn't.
That's why we need yellow boxes, DC.
The arc, but
yeah,
I'd just be interested to know. Okay, well, I'll hear your thoughts for sure, and looking forward to seeing Lilith on screen again. Catch you later.
Ooh. Anyway, yeah, Ray. No, towards the end of Reign of Superman, yeah, Cyborg, Superman, and your buddy Mongol blew up Coast City. I think Hal just blamed himself for not being there to protect it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and like I think I told you, and I said it on this episode. Yeah, Hal Jordan's arm was in his sling in the beginning because of Mongol. But Ray, I love you. I mean,
He's
thank you.
such a sweet summer child, but he has no attachments, and I think that's easier to like. It's easier to like this arc when you don't really have an attachment.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he said he wants to read more Green Lantern, but
Kyle specifically, which he's got some good stuff like that's not necessarily like I said. I like the one where he becomes the White Lantern with the Metal Men and stuff. That was great. I highly recommend that. And that was during the Convergence era too, so that says something.
And Ray, when you get DC Infinite eventually down there, I was just looking. Yeah, it looks like they have like early Kyle Rayner on there. They got a lot of Kyle Rayner issues, so.
You know what? I think that's the funny thing about Green Lanterns is that everybody's technically kind of a legacy character, and they all work in their own way. And that's really the only way that the legacy characters work in DC is the Green Lanterns.
Yes,
because they can all still simultaneously exist. You know what I mean? Because it's a core.
But yes, I'm glad I have the clean audio of his feedback because yes, there wasn't enough meat in this for Ray. So and
nice.
And to Ray, I love you. You know, those Gordon gnomes of were very cheeky, weren't they?
Oh my God. I was scrolling through Netflix. I probably told this story already, but like there's a show called The OA.
Yeah.
Right? And I was just like,
yeah,
it's totally no, it's a good show, but it's totally nothing to do with Green Lanterns. I was just like, wait a minute. I don't think this is about Green Lanterns at all.
That'd be so funny if this was like a soap opera, but it's like all Green Lantern characters.
Don't give DC any ideas. You know the CW is always listening.
You stole my woman, Gardner.
But yeah, I mean, it's not bad if you can take the personal attachments out of it. It was shocking for sure.
I mean, love it or hate it, it was like one of the,
it's one of the definitive things of the Green Lantern lore for sure.
One of the biggest infamous storylines, especially when it comes to Green Lantern.
That's how you do a shake-up, to be fair.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Batman broke his back. Cute. Superman pretended to be dead. How nice.
Who's in a
hold my beer.
I mean, even like supposedly they killed off Barry Allen and later Oliver Queen, but it's like, oh no, Hal Jordan took a body.
He went out in a blaze of glory, baby.
Hal Jordan racked up a body count, and he wasn't even dead. He just went evil.
Exactly.
I mean, they really like effed with his reputation because like everyone else got to die a hero. Hey,
he's always been a jerk, and they played into that, and I think that's what it had a lot to do with why they decided to do it this way.
Again, as the Dark Knight told us, you either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain.
Do they have a future state plan for Green Lantern or no? I didn't see it, but I wasn't really that.
Oh yeah, they do. I'm pretty sure, and I think I don't know if there's any Hal Jordan in it, but I'm pretty sure Jon Stewart's in it. I thought.
I can't believe they're still holding off on that Green Lantern show for Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. They're doing the other Lanterns. Like, I don't think anybody's gonna watch it now.
I know that's what I said. The two most well-known Green Lanterns. It's like, why wouldn't you?
Like, we know that the Jessica and Simon book didn't do well, so I really hope we don't.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's like you could have every Green Lantern in there. Why wouldn't you put everyone in there?
Maybe they are actually working on another Green Lantern movie, and those two are in it. I don't know.
Well, I don't know, but oh yes, there's two. It's 2 issues. Green Lantern Future State. Yeah.
Okay. That would be odd to leave out, but I wouldn't be surprised if we never hear about Cyborg again. Give them the old X-Men and the MCU's treatment.
But yeah, the Future State, it is Jon Stewart, and said he's leading an elite team of Lanterns, and then I guess there's a Jessica Cruz story in there also.
Okay.
So, and I'm assuming Kilowog.
We need to really rebrand Green Lantern desperately. Ever since that movie, that brand has been in the pooper.
Oh,
you hardly see Green Lantern merch.
Yeah,
I got like 3 Green Lantern shirts. I'm pretty sure that's all the shirts they make.
But no, I wonder if this is the same guy as they're getting a new writer for Green Lantern. I think he says he don't like Hal Jordan, so
that's controversial to say.
Yeah,
to the Green Lantern fanboys, I'm just saying that's really controversial.
So I don't know if it's going to be like Jon Stewart's series now, or if he's going to be focusing on like
he should just focus on the core and the non-humanoids. Like, can we get that for like the cartoon was great. I really do enjoy the Green Lantern cartoon. Well, CGI.
Well, I think they abandoned the concept too much. Like was it like the mid 2000s? It's like have 2 books, have a solo Green Lantern book and have like 1 or 2 of the human.
They tried to bring that back very recently, and
yeah,
we saw how that worked out.
But no, have like 1 or 2 human Green Lanterns on Earth in the Green Lantern book, mostly on Earth, and then have a Green Lantern core book where you can basically have anybody or all of them.
They're their own little unique Justice League, and I just really want to see that dynamic fleshed out more. I hope we can get Green Lantern brand back on track. I think it's a very important brand to have, and we'll see how it goes.
Oh, I think most of those DC brands need help. Anything that's not Batman.
Batman still needs help. No offense.
Yeah, but I mean, you could always buoy that up with like Joker and Harley Quinn and all that.
True. Nightwing.
Yeah. All right. So
I mean, it wasn't as bad as I remember. Like I said, I had literally I did a speed run through all of Green Lantern from like Alan Scott, and then like I started like I was finally caught up, and this is what I caught up to. Like it was just it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? When Ray gets a DC Infinite account, whenever they actually let it come out down there, we're gonna have to make him like a big DC reading list.
Oh yeah, I got the Green Arrow covered and the Superman stuff covered.
He said he's interested in Green Lantern. We'll have to give him some Flash to read too.
Oh yeah, well they were best friends once upon a time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Ray, if you haven't read Hard Traveling Heroes, you have to read that.
Yeah, that's at the top of the list.
Yeah. Then we'll give you some a bunch of Batman to read.
Don't do that to him. They're so that's the nice thing about DC.
Batman.
Marvel. Like honestly, I feel like Marvel only focuses on like X-Men, Spider-Man, and a few other things. And that's the nice thing about the MCU, that they've kind of forced them to come out of their shell and do other things.
Yeah.
But DC has never kind of been like we've always had the big 7, you know what I mean? And then the Justice League book too. So that's always been kind of the nice thing about DC for me.
I know, but I feel like that it was not as much now, but back in the day, DC was more diverse.
Oh, absolutely. Isn't that weird? Like I said, growing up, I definitely preferred DC over Marvel just because I felt like I saw myself more in DC books, despite Marvel being set in the real world.
Yeah, exactly.
But nowadays, I don't see myself in any of these damn books. I don't know what's going on.
Because you're not a millennial. Or are you?
No, I'm not Gen Z. And they're not even writing for Gen Z. I don't know who the hell they're writing for. These stories are weird.
The fanboys who like Punchline, that's who they're writing for.
Like I said, I like Punchline. They get it. They like actually focus grouped a character properly, and she hit at the right time in the right place. And that was research. And that's all I'm saying. They need to know what to do with a character.
Our podcast,
it's their best new character launch in a long time.
Our podcast is like the barometer. Like I really don't care.
I don't agree with that at all, because I watch a lot of comic book YouTube, and it's all old white angry guys, and that's just not the comic book community.
Well, no, I was gonna say I really don't care about Punchline either way. Like I could take her or leave her. You like her. Charlie despises her.
Because he's so far removed from Gen Z. Like you and me, we're still tangentially there, but he's very far removed from it. And, he still has this whole weird thing about Harley, which I am so disillusioned with Harley at this point.
I mean, they could save Punchline for me. I just don't think they've done enough with her.
And they can't now. I mean, they had this whole big plan, but, money.
Yeah, they
can't push a franchise on Punchline because she's so new. But now they're doing all these cutbacks, and we're getting down to like 3 or 4 main character books after Future State, probably.
Yeah.
2022 is bleak for DC, as far as we know, unless some money gets infused.
Yeah, Punchline doesn't seem like a character yet. She just seems like, oh, I'm evil Harley Quinn,
I think she's more relatable than Harley Quinn's been in a long time. But
ooh.
Like I said, they left a very bad taste in my mouth when it comes to Harley. I'm sorry, Amanda. I'm sorry, Jimmy. You ruined that character. Absolutely, hands down.
Constant beating.
Cash grab. She's not Deadpool in a skirt. She's just not. Stop it.
Don't tell them that.
That taste is still in my mouth.
And I did like the stuff that they did with Harleen and the other like Elseworld stuff, which I think is why they made everything matter.
Yeah.
Well, everything counts and nothing matters is how I put it.
So you can write any continuity. It don't matter. You don't have to research
Yeah.
anything. Chad follows Dope Spill. Dude is fun.
Oh, cool. I'll check it out.
All
But yeah,
right. So should we get out of here?
let's do it, buddy.
All right. So next week we'll be back with episode 2 of The Devil You Know.
Woohoo! What
Daredevil,
are we reading over there?
Daredevil Yellow by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale.
We come out swinging, baby.
Woo!
Because we are the premier Daredevil podcast.
The Daredevil podcast. That's right. Well, again, it covers the early days. So I figured, another good early episode. And then next week, Ray, pay attention if you want to know what happened to Hal Jordan. Comic
Whatever
Capers,
happened to Hal Jordan?
Comic Capers 100.
Woohoo! We did it, boys!
We cover 0 Hour and bonus issue Green Lantern number 0.
Yeah. Oof. 0 Hour. A lot to say.
Oh, yeah. Hey, episode 100. All right. So send your thoughts on those. Email us capesandlunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow Comic Capers on Facebook, Twitter. You can find all of our various social medias. We have Facebook groups. We have this YouTube channel. We have Patreon. We have merch. Everything all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And remember to support our sponsors, Tweaked Audio.
Get yourself some headphones.
That's
for
right.
Crystal clear HD audio. It's
Hear the-
never too late to treat yourself.
Hear the crack of those necks snapping.
Choke that chicken.
Oh, get that in crystal clear HD, kids.
Choke that chicken. Smash it. Semen.
Okay.
Nobody tell Rob.
Be like the Green Lantern Corps, hunt a killer.
Michelle Gray needs your help. Track down Hal Jordan. This is the perfect crossover, Hunter Killer.
That's right.
Track down the murderous Parallax.
Never forgive, never forget. So
Yeah,
that's
I'm straight.
right. Use the code Southgate for a handy discount on those. And for those of you who like to read, don't worry, Marnell. Pod Life, the book, now in digital and paperback. Learn the ins and outs of podcasting from the experts. And
Oh, you're gonna make me say it fine. Rob Southgate.
I love you, Rob. Thanks for keeping the finger.
That's it. I'm cutting my camera off.
No. And please, you can't expect Charlie Esser to be the eye candy. Come on. Anyway, so yes, well, you get that on Amazon, and when you go on there for that and everything else, use the link for Southgate Media Group right down there in the show notes. Help us support this show, the network, and that crazy man in a central power battery, Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain. So says Master Doom. Please kick me in the pants, and you will find out I am right so much more often than I'm wrong. Mark my words.
Lilith Hellfire.
If you nerds want to hang out with me and my hot take opinions over on the interwebs, you can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire. On the Instagram, if you like smoothie recipes and pretty little puppies, at Lilith Hellfire 86. And of course, if you're into the memes, at Lilith Hellfire 69 on the TikTok as well as Instagram.
Am I supposed to get my medicine soon?
I already ate my McDonald's hash browns. It's fine.
Gobble, gobble.
So many drops. So many drops.
So little time.
I'm too drunk for this.
Too hung. Oh wait, here's a new one. I'm too hungover for this.
Oh yeah, I saw. Weren't you up at like 4 a.m. drinking? Jeez. All right, everyone. That was Hal Jordan's excuse. I was drunk. I was hungover.
On power.
A lot of that going around. All right, kids. Thank you for joining us. Again, in 1 week, Daredevil Yellow. Then in 2 weeks, 0 Hour. Comic Capers 1.
Strap in!
Comic
Buckle
Capers,
up! It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
Comic Capers 100. Crisis in Time.
Did you mean DC in general?
Burn.